All right, fans, good evening and welcome to another exciting Channel 22 sports presentation. I'm Rufus Washington. I'll be joined tonight by Rayshawn Haylock and Eric Chavez will be running camera for us. Folks, we've made a long trip, but we're ready to play ball. This is the first round game in the 2008 CIF Southern Section Playoff. The Leuzinger Olympians visiting up at San Marcos High School, home of the Royals. And we've got the starting lineup being introduced, Rayshawn.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting lineups first for Leuzinger. It'll be Jerry Evans, Edric Stamps, along with Cameron Bell, Deshaun Freeman, and Dominique Coy. This Leuzinger team is, we talked about it a little bit earlier, Rufus. This team came all the way out here to Santa Barbara. Tough environment to play, not only just being on the road, but because of the distance that it took to get you here. This Leuzinger team left school at about 12:30 today, 7:30 tip-off time is scheduled for. So that's a lot of time. You've been sitting in traffic, been sitting around. How is this team going to be able to adjust to this once this ball gets tipped off?
Well, one thing about it, they've got a little experience on the road making this trip in the playoffs. This being the second consecutive year they've had to come up here, and now we've got now the home court advantage comes in as they raise up the volume and so forth. And I guess this is their tradition as the Royals come out. You would think the Queen of England or the King was coming out right now.
Well, I guess that nickname says it all for this team, the San Marcos Royals. And they come into this game out of the Channel League. Leuzinger played another Channel League team last year in Dos Pueblos and ended up getting a win. So hopefully the same thing can happen for the Olympians tonight as the starting lineup for the Royals are being introduced. That starting lineup is Trevor Hopkins, a 5'11" senior point guard, Nick Marquez, a junior guard, Scott Mall, a senior forward, Brian Pearson, a senior guard, and the big man inside will be 6'6" senior center Frank Nordin. He's a transfer from Sweden. And this San Marcos team is a team that likes to get up and down the court. They jack up a lot of threes, and of course they're going to be pumped up here with the home court advantage and all their friends and fans and family here on a 4-day weekend here over the week on this Friday night.
Well, it's a 4-day weekend, but you better believe for Coach Reggie Morris's team, this ain't no vacation. All right, these guys come here to take care of business. They got a job to do, and I think they're going to take the court ready to do that job.
Exactly. You gotta look at it as a business trip. You want to take care of your business. You want to get a win. You want to continue to keep going. I mean, your season is on the line here tonight.
You're one and done. And we'll talk about the playoff setup. One thing that we do know is that if the Olympians are able to get out of here with a win tonight, they of course will be hosting on Wednesday night of next week.
Yeah, they'll place the winner of the Martin Luther King and testing game. Martin Luther King, the #1 seed in Division 1A, and many people's favorite to win the entire thing. But that'd be great if Martin Luther King is able to win, if Leuzinger is able to win, to have a home game against the #1 team.
And there's the jump. It's controlled by Deshaun Freeman, who jumped for the Olympians. Gives the ball off to number 10, Cameron Bell. Dominique Coy down the corner, Jerry Evans. They're all position player out top. Leuzinger moving it around the perimeter. Defense for San Marcos. Rashawn resembling the zone. That shot goes up, doesn't go down for the Olympians. Now we come the other way. Deshaun Freeman takes it off the rim. Olympians looking to run. Boy, they push it up. Off the run, shot by Cameron Bell. Bell gets the scoring started for the Olympians.
And a nice drive and finish by Bell. Did a good job getting inside the lane, pulled up with the jumper, kissed it right off the glass.
One thing about this Royal team, they're a balanced scoring team. Jerry Evans jumped a little too quick. We asked Coach who's your primary scorer, and Deshaun with the layup can't get it to go down, but still has it underneath. Follow shot put up and in by Deshaun Freeman. So the Olympians out to an early 4-0 lead.
And that's something Coach Bradley at St. Marcos is worried about, how Leuzinger is able to have just as many offensive rebounds as they do on the defensive end.
Well, this is the Patient Ball Club boy. Deshaun almost got a foul there on the reach over. It would have been a fair call if the official had made it, but he didn't. So that's good for the Olympians. Officials both allowing a little bit of contact. That shot goes up, doesn't come down. Bell pushes, gives it off to Stamps. Stamps pushes off, gets away with it, but his shot is blocked by the big man, Frank Nordine.
Nice job coming over to help on the weak side. Nordine able to block the shot.
Right now, the Royals having a difficult time getting anything to drop. Deshaun misses his second layup. Let it go. So Deshaun Freeman not yet untracked. He's had a couple of looks at the basket. Finally, a foul drawn by Trevor Hopkins as he pushes it to the basket, draws the foul. I believe that was on Bell, and it was. That's the indication from the official. Let me get you the officials for tonight's contest. They are Todd Tognazi and Mark DiBardino, both out of the North Channel Coast. Hopkins' shot doesn't drop. So with 5:55 left here in the first quarter, the Royals at home hosting, still looking to get on the board. And Hopkins finally gets the shot to drop, so it makes it a 4-1 ball game. Leuzinger, quite frankly, and they may come back to rue this, could have been much farther out, boy. They've missed a number of easy close-in shots here in the early going. Deshaun Freeman is 0 for 3 so far.
Yeah, and one of those was a three-pointer to start the game. Sure, that's not the type of shot Coach Morris wants him taking.
Marquez's shot doesn't go. Long rebound, though, comes off and put up and in by Brian Pearson.
And for a team like San Marcos, they can score points in a hurry. They like to shoot the three ball. That's how they generate a lot of their offense. So a three-point lead, which it was before that last possession, is nothing to this team.
I think one of the things as we look at the Olympians, boy, and they get the benefit of a foul. They certainly had almost lost it on the turnover, but a foul called against San Marcos. Okay, the indication on the scoreboard.
Foul goes to Hopkins.
Okay.
That's his first personal first team foul for the Royals.
And Larry Dennis comes on the court. Dennis, an excellent ball handler and good defender. He's on the court for Edric Stamps. Dennis's three-pointer put up and in. So Larry Dennis makes his presence felt as soon as he steps on the floor.
That's a good shot. He's going to have to make this San Marcos team respect the three-pointer. They're sagging. They're taking away the driving lanes and giving Leuzinger those threes.
Wow. Nordine got it, drove the basket. Should have a jump ball. Warrior officials are letting them play. We'll see who that favors. That's an interesting development. Three-pointer put up and in by Brian Pearson.
It's going to be a 30-second timeout called by Coach Morris. And you just brought up a good question. If they're going to let them play, if they're going to let them be physical, you would think Leuzinger being more of a physical team is going to favor them a little bit more than San Marcos, who we deem as being a little bit more finesse. But we'll see as this game goes along.
And that will be a huge development, because if they decide to let them play and the Leuzinger players are able to pick up on that, I got to be honest with you, I really believe that gives Leuzinger a heck of an advantage coming in throughout the course of the game, I should say, because they are a much more physical team, it would seem, than are the Royals of San Marcos.
And a much physical team, and as Coach Morris talked to us before the game, liking it to do different things defensively, throw different looks at their opponent. Of course, you would think that it has to favor Leuzinger.
Dennis' shot blocked, but he got it back. It should be off of a Royal, and it is. So the Olympians retain possession. They've led throughout the contest here in the first quarter. Right now, it's only a one-point margin at 7-6 with 4:18 left. Dominique Coy's shot from the outside drops. So Leuzinger extends that lead again back out to 9-6. Their largest lead of the game thus far has been by 4. And now they show a little bit of full court pressure. Caused a bit of a problem for them, but they left a man open. And that was Brian Pearson with his second three-pointer of the contest.
Yeah, Brian Pearson, a long-distance shooter for them. MVP of the Coast Union Tournament earlier this year. 6 for 6 from behind the arc in one of those games for a 30-point performance. He can fill it up.
And that ties up on the fall-away jumper. That's Deshaun Freeman. Can't get it to go. Deshaun 0 for 4 so far here in the first quarter. That time Pearson's shot doesn't go. Olympians pushing it. That's Bell. And that's a good move by Bell. Takes it coast to coast, lays it up and in.
For a minute, I thought he might have took off a little bit too soon, but he was able to use that long stride and finger roll it right off the glass.
Leuzinger with full court pressure. However, Jerry Evans gets caught out of position with a smaller man on him. Laid a little bit too much body on him. Gets called for the foul. And Evans will take a spot on the bench, not because of the foul, but I'm certain, in fact, I know that was a planned substitution.
And Coach Morris is over there having a talk with him right now. And Evans appearing to be a little bit frustrated right now. Maybe it's because of the foul, maybe because, as you said, he wasn't able to get in good position.
Well, just a little bit, but remember, Jerry is a diamond in the rough, boy. A little more polish, and he's going to be an outstanding player. I look for him to be on that Bay League first team next year. Chance here for the Olympians. Oh, they thought they had a fast break opportunity. They do get it underneath to Deshaun. Deshaun finally makes his first basket. Deshaun now 1 for 5 here in the first quarter. Let's see if that basket will get him untracked. That three-pointer put up doesn't go. Deshaun Freeman comes down with the rebound, throws it away. And with the recovery is Chris Vines. Vines, one of the key substitutes for Coach Bradley. The other, of course, Taylor Gilkerson. You got to come away with the ball, guys.
Only person really out there rebounding for Leuzinger is Deshaun Freeman. It seems like if he's not getting to the rebound, no one else from the Olympians is.
But even still, and scoring the basket is Gilkerson. So the 6th and 7th man for the Royals now on the court. That's Vines and Gilkerson. Nice shot put up and in by Edric Stamps, number 4. That you can't have happen. That was Hopkins. Hopkins went coast to coast. No defensive pressure. Okay, this isn't what you want either. Wow, foul call on the play. You know, I've said it throughout the course of the season, Deshaun Rayshawn, excuse me. Deshaun has shown, and now Deshaun is asking to come out of the game for a breather. I mean, he's shown an ability to handle, but I got to tell you, I'm not as comfortable with him handling in the open court. I think he's a low block player. That's where he's most effective. That's what I'd like to see him. Evans' shot put up doesn't go. Now that's what Jerry Evans can do for you, create his own shot.
Yeah, he can, whether it's on the block or whether it's him being out there on the perimeter. That time he was posting up on the smaller Royal defender that time, was able to draw himself an opportunity to go to the free throw line.
Oh, boy. That one draws a lot of iron for Jerry Evans and finally goes down. Olympians now make a substitution. Cameron Bell comes back on the floor, and Deshaun goes off to take a breather. One of the little things I'm seeing tonight, Rayshawn, is that when the subs go off, they're going over, sitting beside Coach Chris Young, so they're constantly being coached and having their heads kept in the game.
Yeah, they're getting coached up, and that's a great philosophy. Great job by Coach Morris and the rest of the Olympian coaching staff to keep the players involved, let them know what's going on.
Losing his full court pressure yields a turnover. Bell with it. Bell takes a three-pointer, can't get it to drop. Coming down is Vines with the rebound. Ball loose. Wow, Vines must have got poked in the eye because he didn't even make a play on it, even though it was right in front of him. However, the Royals retained possession. And now they'll make a couple of substitutions.
Yeah, I like the on-ball pressure Cameron Bell is applying to this Royals team. so far here in the early going.
One of the things they don't want to do is leave that 3-line open, and you can see the Royals setting up on it.
Yep.
Again, playing their game, boy. They fake it every time they get a hand on it. This is going to be an over and back. Exactly.
And so that's the first time this Royals team has saw Leuzinger go with the 2-3 zone. Looked like it threw him off guard a little bit.
Well, a couple of things have thrown him out. One was the full court pressure the last time, and now Deshaun, after a quick breather, comes back in, I should say, and Cameron Bell goes out. 30 seconds left on the game clock. Shot clock should be turned off. So the Olympians will hold it for the last shot. That's Larry Dennis out top holding, looks over for instruction from Coach Reggie Morris. He swings it around to Devontae Norton. Now Jerry Evans have it. Jerry Evans with the pull-up jumper. Toe on the line. Gets it to go. And that'll end the scoring for the first half. But we end the half with the Leuzinger Olympians here on the road, 130 miles from home, Deshaun. But after one quarter, they've got a lead of 19-13 on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. So, Rayshawn, this looks like this may be a track meet of sorts for the Olympians here in the first quarter. What's your early take on the game?
Yeah, I like how Leuzinger has responded. They came out with early energy. It was going to be interesting to see how they respond after the long road trip, after sitting around for a good part of the day. But they came out, they jumped on the San Marcos team early, going up 4-0. San Marcos came back with a little bit of a mini run against the Olympians, but they were able to hold tough and to withstand that little mini run, and they have a 6-point lead at the end of the first quarter. One thing I like to see them do, they were able to get they being Leuzinger, they're able to get some deflections. I like to see them be more aggressive towards those loose balls. I mean, diving for loose balls, giving up your body, because in the long run, I think those are going to be the things that are the difference in games like these, playoff games.
Exactly. And the Olympians, of course, as we start the second quarter with them leading 19-13, they led that entire quarter. The only time we had to score knotted at 9-all, but otherwise the Olympians led throughout the quarter, and the 19-13 margin of 6 points, their largest in the first quarter.
Olympians stand in that 2-3 zone.
Wow. Well, that's what you call a zone buster. That's Nick Marquez. His basket makes it a 19-16 game.
Little 2 game here between Dennis and Freeman. Dennis lost it.
Larry Dennis definitely lost it on the turnover. Now he's got to get back again. They're there on the 3 line. We'll see how long Leuzinger stays in this zone. The zone doesn't favor you against a 3-point shooting team. You're almost forced to go man-to-man. They jump out, and once again, that's a 3-pointer. And we're back tied at 19-all, courtesy of 2 3-pointers by... Wow, I thought it was on the pass-off, but they're going to call travel on Cameron Bell.
And for Pearson, he now has 11 points now for the Royals after that last 3-pointer. Leuzinger's going to have to find a way to locate number 30.
So the Royals open the period here. They trail by 6, and they start out with 2 very quick 3-pointers to get even, and now they have a man loose behind the 3-line. That's 3 consecutive 3-pointers, and they take their first lead of the game at 22-19. Norton, step shot put up, looked like it was blocked out of bounds, but the officials said he actually controlled the shot, and it went off of his hand out of bounds. So right now, the Olympians have been stymied, Rayshawn, for the first minute and a half here. They've been outscored 9-0.
Yeah, quick 9-0 run by the Royals to start the second quarter. We're just a minute and a half in. And so for Leuzinger, they're going to have to withstand this run once again on the road, locate the shooters. It's a nice tip from behind by Bill. He
That's a
finishes
foul.
here. Oh, almost finished.
Yeah. Got to tell you, that foul by Mike McQuaid wasn't exactly what they call Phi Beta Kappa. One, you're beat. That puts a referee in a very awkward position, Rashawn, because one, you're fouling an airborne shooter. We prefer to see him let the guy go and make a play on the ball. When you make a play on his body, you're getting real, real close to a flagrant foul.
Bell missing the first free throw, and Nordine check back in for the Royals, but it was a nice job of getting the back tap. Bell never gave up on the press that time. Once he got beat, came up, tipped it from behind, and had the opportunity to finish the layup on the other end.
But the key to starting that play was the defense that you spoke about. Leuzinger now going full court on their defense. The trick is you don't want to get beat when you're in full court, and they do recover nicely. And they're throwing and showing double teams at the ball. That's Nordine throws up a wild shot. Can't get it to go, but they recover the rebound. And now from way downtown, Santa Barbara. Boy, that's Marquez.
9 points for Marquez, all in this quarter.
Leuzinger not being able to get anything going. They right now trail 25-20 after opening the period, leading 19-13.
All of the Royals' points this quarter have been from beyond the arc.
That's right, they've got 4 3-pointers, fans, here in the quarter. 4 shots, 4 3-pointers, and now you got a foul that's going to be called against Edric Stamps out top.
And Stamps will have a seat after that last foul. Only 17 team fouls total being called so far here in the first half. 5:28 remaining in the second quarter.
And fans, right now, this Nordic team, Royal team. I saw the big guy from Sweden and thought Nordic. They're on a 12-1 run. Wow, a near wall. Evans works his way inside. He's hacked on the arm, and that's what can work for them to attack the basket, go inside, because I don't think that, first of all, the Royals can stop either Deshaun Freeman or Jerry Evans on the inside.
Yeah, absolutely not. And it's not too many teams that can stop Jerry Evans or Deshaun Freeman. And it's up to these two young men to be a little bit more assertive, a little bit more aggressive into the offensive flow for Leuzinger.
Larry Dennis goes out. Devontae Norton comes in. Want to give her, and I'll get that in after this.
They wave it off. They say violation on Deshaun Freeman.
Looks like they call that against Deshaun. Lane violation against the Olympians. Olympians once again showing full court pressure on the ball. That's Devontae Norton, and that's pretty good pressure. Here we see them now. Now they've gone man-to-man, Deshaun, because that's what you got to do against a three-point shooting team such as this.
Devontae Norton, one of the best on-ball defenders for Leuzinger.
Wow. The Olympians give away the offensive rebound that time. Big man trapped underneath, and they get a travel call. So the defense pays off. Olympians still right now trailing 25-21.
Deshaun Freeman not having the best night on the offensive end, but defensively he's definitely controlled the paint by getting rebounds, and he's stopping his counterpart, Nordine, from being effective.
Nothing there, gets it out to Dominique Coy. His shot put up, doesn't go. Olympians still fighting for it. They get it, and wow, now you got a travel call against Jerry Evans. Jerry was looking for somebody to give it off to.
And Jerry's frustrated. And I can't recall a time seeing Jerry Evans this frustrated in a basketball game. Definitely having a tough go at it out there, but Leuzinger needs to be a little bit more patient offensively. The Royals want them to take those 3 points. They can't continue to settle for threes. This becomes a three-point shooting contest. It favors San Marcos.
It absolutely does. But the Olympians, wow, and here comes the defense now. They're trying to make an adjustment. Good blocking call by the official as Devontae Norton attacks the basket, draws the blocking foul against Trevor Hopkins.
And it was a game earlier this season on Channel 22. And Leuzinger took on a West Torrance team, and Devontae Norton single-handedly shut down the West Torrance point guard. And he's doing a good job of applying pressure to Hopkins here so far since he's been applying the game. The Royals go as Hopkins go as a point guard. We've seen him pick apart the press by himself. We've seen him get them into their offense, but Norton done a good job of coming in here and kind of putting the body on him, making it tough for him.
So Norton at the line to shoot the free throw. Can't get it to go. Our score 25-23. 4 minutes exactly left here in the first half. Leuzinger controlled the first quarter well. Deshaun went up, way up top, thought he had all ball. Fisher saw it otherwise, and so going to the line to shoot two will be the big Swede, Frank Nordin.
And definitely a breakdown there defensively for Leuzinger. Nordin saw it, nobody picked him up. He took a wide open lane. Freeman had to come over and give help, picked up the foul.
So this crowd for the Royals now in the game. Of course, the Leuzinger faithful have showed up in good support as well. And the cheer squad also here for the Olympians. So now it's 27-23 in favor of the Royals of San Marcos High. Once again, shot from the outside, doesn't drop. As you said, not something that favors the Olympians. They've got to get it more inside. Boy, they give up the baseline. Deshaun came close to a foul, but no call. Now they're running up the court. Good job there. So going to the line to attempt the free throws, number 10, Cameron Bell.
And let's go back to the last possession for a second. Bell was being guarded by, I believe that was Marquez, and Marquez was kind of shadowing Deshaun Freeman. Freeman had Nordin behind him, Marquez in front of him. Bell had a wide open look at the three-pointer. They want you to take that shot if you're Cameron Bell. What I suggest you do, don't give in to them. If he's going to play you 3, 4, 5 feet off, drive toward the basket, force them to help. Maybe you can set up something for either yourself or Deshaun.
Exactly, because when you drive to the basket, you either got to rotate over or give you the pass. So good things happen both ways. However, Cameron Bell converts both free throws, makes it a 2-point game now with 3:25 left. 27-25 here in the first half. Good pressure defense by the Olympians. Boy, they realize they have to protect the line as well. So they're gambling a lot, but so far it's not costing them. Boy, that's Devontae Norton. Norton got beat on the play, and just pure luck that one didn't go down for him.
That was still good defensive pressure by Norton. He forced him to the baseline. Generally, that's where your help is, but there was no help that time by the Leuzinger Olympians defense.
So the Olympians now back in their front court. Under 3 left here in the first half. They get it to Sean down low. He gives it off the stamps. He drives, leaves it short. So now we're going to come the other way. Marquez comes down with the rebound. He gives it off to Scott Mall. Scott Mall dribbling over here right in front of our vantage point. Over on the left, he has a man on the 3 line. Doesn't see him. A lot of dribbling. No 5 count yet. Now Mall finally gets rid of it to Marquez. Boy, they leave the man open on the 3 line. And the other thing the Olympians are doing, they're giving away offensive rebounds. Rashawn, offensive rebounds are killing them.
And that was impressive by Pearson. Not only did he get the rebound, but he's able to put it back over 6'7" Deshaun Freeman.
29-25 our score, 2 minutes left. Pull-up jumper by Norton doesn't go. No rebounders underneath. Exactly what you're talking about, not what you want. I mean, that shot went up and there wasn't a single Olympian anywhere nearby. And for whatever reason, given the Olympian side advantage, they are not controlling the boards, Rashawn.
You're not. They got a break there where Pearson pulled up, took the shot, it came off, but Olympians hit it out of bounds. So it'll be a fresh 35-second shot clock for the Royals when play resumes.
So with a minute 56 left in the first half, the Olympians trail by a score of 29-25 as they've been outscored here in the second quarter thus far by a margin of 16-6. You are watching a sports presentation of Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. So, Rashawn, as Leuzinger prepares to come out of the timeout, what have they got to do over the next minute 56 for a game that in the first quarter they seemed to have firmly in control? Now, here in the second, it was a complete 360.
Yeah, that full timeout taken by Coach Morris. And if I'm in that huddle, I'm addressing two issues. Protect the boards. Rebound, rebound, rebound. You have to control the defensive boards. You're giving San Marcos way too many opportunities. You give a team second and third chances, it's going to hurt you every time. And secondly, more discipline on the offensive end. Right now, there's not much continuity, not much discipline for the Olympians on the offensive end. They're not getting very good shots.
This time, Leuzinger on the three. I think they've learned that lesson pretty well. They've got to guard that three line. They've got Larry Dennis, Devontae Norton, Edric Stamps, and Dominique Coy on the floor. They go up, they come down with this rebound. Finally, they get one. Let's see if they can convert on their end. They think about the three. They get it around. Jerry Evans gets it baseline. He puts it up. Can't get it to go down. Still a tough shooting night for Jerry Evans, but that was a good look by Jerry on that play. 1:22 left.
They go high screen and roll once again.
Olympians in the pressure defense. There you go. Near steal by Jerry Evans being held on the play.
No call.
Well, the fans saw the hole the other way, but they didn't see all of it. That one comes out. Olympians with a chance to run. Here it is to Jerry. Jerry's got to pull this one back. Decides to go in. Out of control, but he's going to get bailed out on the play.
And that's going to bring out the Boo Birds. Can't say it was a bad call by the officials, but you said it correct. Bailed out. Jerry Evans definitely got bailed out on the play that time. Leuzinger didn't necessarily have numbers. He went and drove. Nice aggressive move to the basket. But as you said, perhaps should have pulled it out in that situation, but he's able to get himself to the foul line and shoot 2 shots.
Let's see what Jerry does on these two. Can't get the first to go. A tough shooting night at the free throw line for the Olympians. By my unofficial count, they're just a tad over 50%. And Evans misses a pair. And now we come back the other way with under a minute left. Olympians trailing by 4 at 29-25. And boy, getting loose on the baseline.
Wide open, nobody accounted for Scott Maul. No, Dean did a good job of finding him down low.
And on the loose ball, it goes out of bounds. It'll stay in the possession of the Olympians. 39 seconds left, 28 on the shot clock. They trail 31-25. Attacking the basket, puts it up, and now we're going to have an offensive foul call against the smallest man on the court, Devontae Norton. Player control call against Devontae. No free throws on a player control foul or a team control foul. So right now the Olympians have got to play good defense the last 27 seconds here left in the first half, not to allow this lead to grow any further, Rashawn.
Yeah, no doubt the Royals will be looking to take the last shot here of the half, and if you're losing, you need to get a stop right here. Don't want to go into the locker room down by any more than your deficit right now, which is 6 points.
Losing can afford to gamble defensively because they only have 5 team fouls. Wow, but they give up the three-pointer. Wow. Now we got whistles on the play. And now the Olympians, man, Jerry Evans getting on one of his teammates. Not something you want to see. Our score, 34-25 with 5 seconds left. You got to play. They can afford the foul right here. Wow, score the basket. The Olympians, Rashawn, only, well, they actually picked up another foul. So the strategic idea I had wouldn't have worked. but now it is 36-25, and Nordine at the line to try to make it a three-point play. The Olympians down by 11. Boy, what a reversal of fortunes for them. Wow. Nordine's free throw.
6 points for San Marcos in the last 27 seconds of the half, combined with the Leuzinger turnover and a foul. Your Coach Morris couldn't ask for a worse way for your team to end the first half than for have this San Marcos team go on a 6-0 run to end the last 27 seconds of the second quarter.
Exactly right. And Rashawn, it's our job. We don't make the news, we just report it. And we've got to report that probably was one of the worst quarters I've ever seen a Reggie Morris coach team play. They started the second quarter leading 19-13. In that quarter, there was an 18-point swing as they were outscored 24-6 in the quarter.
That's tough. That's tough. It's hard to win games like that on any level, no matter where you are, whether it's college, NBA, high school, whatever. It's hard to win games that way, especially on the road.
Wow. And what was the key? The key was real simple. Boy, San Marcos hit at least half a dozen three-pointers during the quarter. That's 18 points alone right there, including a couple of free throws to make up the difference and a two-pointer somewhere along the way. Big quarter for them. But, hey, the good news is it's only the first half.
Still a lot more
all
time.
right? So that means we've got another half coming. So why don't we take a pause for the cause here on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22 as we go to break with the Leuzinger Olympians trailing by a margin of 37-25, but they're in the locker room with head coach Reggie Morris, and you can expect a different team to come out to start the second half. All right, fans, welcome back for the second half. We'll have the start of the second half in just a moment. Remind you once again, our halftime score is 37-25 in favor of the Royals of San Marcos. I'm Rufus Washington working with Rashawn Haylock. Rashawn, first of all, you've always wanted to be Coach Reggie Morris. Well, here's your chance. It's always easy to lead when your horse is in front. Now that your horse is behind, what do? You got to
go back to the drawing board. You got to emphasis on the rebounding and getting stops, keeping your man in front of you, emphasis on the help side defense, and then offensively being a little bit more patient. Don't rush into opportunities. Take your time on the offensive end. Pick your shot, and don't settle for the three-pointer.
Well, one of the first adjustments we see is that, wow, in a surprise, Jerry Evans is on the bench for the Olympians to start the second half. That shot put up from the outside by the Olympians doesn't go, I should say. So they start out cold just as they ended the first half cold. Now let's see if they can make something happen defensively. That shot put up for a change. They control the defensive board. Going to the basket, can't get it to drop. Boy, that was Cameron Bell. And they had several missed layups in the first half, and again, they start the second with the same thing. Defense seems to be picking up just a tad. Rotation not quick enough, though, as they give Marquez.
Fourth three-pointer of the game for Marquez. All of his points will come from behind the arc.
Still a lot of time left here in the game. Well, first of all, only a minute, a small amount of change gone by, but that three-pointer wasn't exactly what the Olympians wanted to have happen. Now we got Deshaun Freeman shooting from the top. That's not his shot either. Boy, they get the rebound underneath, and you're going to get a foul call against San Marcos. Looks like they're going to call that one on number 24, Scott Mall.
That's a third personal for Mall. First team foul for San Marcos here in the second half.
So Mall goes out, and Chris Vines comes in. Pass it out top. Dennis on the floor at one guard position. Wow, again, Deshaun Freeman, nobody told him he had a guy sneaking up behind him. Fortunately, the Olympians come back with the steal. Here's a chance for them, and they turn it over. Now we're going the other way.
go up with that if you're Cameron Bell. You got to take that shot.
Another near turnover. Olympians now, they've learned their lesson. They're getting out guarding the line. And it looks like right now they're going man against this San Marcos Royal team that's leading by a score of 40-25, just under 6 minutes left. Another three-pointer put up. Boy, they were slow to react to it, fortunate to get away with it. And here's what they got to do that I'm seeing guys do it. Nets go to basket, boy, they cannot get it to drop. A lot of frustration on the part of the Olympians at missed opportunity after missed opportunity. 2.5 minutes gone, and they've yet to score, Rashawn.
You caught it the last time. Slow reacting. This is Leuzinger Olympians team is slow reacting to almost every defensive rebound opportunity tonight. Also slow reacting on the help side is Marquez, three-point shooter. He's able to take him off the dribble, pull up the short floater. Full timeout called by Coach Morris.
And as they go to that full timeout, the Olympians who came out trailing by 12 at the half now find themselves trailing by 17. They've been outscored 7-0 or 5-0. Let me get it straight. It's 42-25.
And Marquez has all 5 points for San Marcos here in the third quarter. 5:19 remaining, and the Olympians trail at 42-25.
Well, we saw the Olympians earlier in the season go on a 19-0 run at West to turn that game around. Boy, they're going to have to do something similar pretty soon if they expect to get back into this. Of course, they may not make a 19-0 run, but you got to chop that tree down, Rashawn, a couple of whacks at a time.
A little bit at a time. Obviously, you're not going to, score 17 points on one play. So you're going to have to get it in chunks, get it in bits and pieces, but it's going to have to start on the defensive end. And, of course, being more efficient offensively. But if you're losing, if you can get it to about maybe 8 or 10 points going to the fourth quarter, you got to feel good about yourself.
But they need something, anything, once again. Can't get anything to drop. Now, that's just tough luck. That was a good-looking shot by Jerry Evans. Wow. And they draw the offensive foul.
That's
Looks
a tough
like
call. If you're the point guard Hopkins there, it appeared that Dennis was still moving once he went up in the air, but the officials called it an offensive foul for Hopkins. That's his third personal foul.
Well, one of the things, going back to what Coach Bradley of San Marcos told us earlier, how he lets his players play and he doesn't do a lot of coaching. He does it in practice. He's made a believer out of me. I now see why, in terms of his guys are executing.
They know exactly what they're supposed to do. Exactly.
Deshaun from the outside gets the jumper to go. Maybe that'll get the Olympians off the snide. The pressure defense, the question is, can they recover? Well, San Marcos helps them because instead of pushing the ball up, they let it come up. Now, wow, that's a travel. No call, though. There's the rebound. Now the Olympians going the other way. Devontae Norton pushing it. Goes straight down the middle, puts it up. He did the right thing. And there to follow up was Deshaun off of Dominique Coy's miss.
That's how it starts. It starts with your defense. You got to generate offense off of your good defensive play. As Coach Bradley sees a little bit of a run being made here by the Olympians, he's going to call a 30-second timeout. This is the first timeout that San Marcos has taken in this ball game. But going back to that last point, if you're losing, you're going to have to create offensive opportunities for yourself from your defense. That was a good job right there. Wild shot by Devontae Norton, but Jerry Evans was there to follow him up, and Deshaun Freeman was there to follow Evans up. So it's a good job of Leuzinger attacking the offensive glass. Now, if they can do the same thing on the defensive glass, they may be okay in terms of starting to turn this thing around.
Well, they're certainly on a very small 4-0 run, but a very important 4-0 run. They've drawn now back within 13. They open the quarter down by 12. And they're still looking to cut more into that deficit. That's what it said. You got to hack at it, a couple of swipes at a time. And, boy, it always starts on the defensive end. Nordine, the big guy, he brings it up.
He handles a lot for them.
Evans gambles. He's out on Marquez. They cut him off. You got to guard the three. Let's see what they can do if they're forced to drive to score. Right. And he'll travel there. Nordine thinks about it. Deshaun comes out a little bit on him. Nordine not quite the three-point threat that some of the other Royals are. Wow.
Jerry Evans.
And for Evans, that's his second team foul.
One
Go ahead.
thing that makes this Royals offense so tough to guard, they spread you out. This is going to be a foul here away from the basketball.
Okay.
A delayed game.
Delayed game because Evans played the ball out of bounds, put his hands out across the end line, and that's what created the delayed game call. Larry Dennis playing good heads-up defense on the Royal player. Good screen down, now he comes around.
Fouls on Deshaun Freeman. But going back to the last point, the Royals team does a great job. They spread you out. They spread the floor out, and that opens up a lot of driving lanes, and it makes you go further to help if you're the defense. The kickouts are there for the wide open three-point attempts.
Jerry Evans with it. Evans can go coast to coast, and he does that. Wow, Evans out of control. They're going to call an offensive foul on Jerry Evans. Boy, he wanted to get that one. That's okay, though. That was good intensity by Jerry. Now he's got to settle down because that's his third with 3:23 left. You can't afford to lose Evans. Boy, that was a big missed opportunity there for the Olympians.
That's frustration on the part of Jerry Evans. So looked like a 3-on-1 fast break there for the Olympians, but Evans frustrated from the events and the defensive end of the floor, taking it upon himself to take that to the basket. He comes up with a charge.
No. Good block there by Deshaun Freeman to get out on the 3 line. Can't get it to go. Let's see which way we're going. And it'll stay in the possession of the Royals of the Royals of San Marcos. The Simi Valley team also called the Royals, and they would do that eventually, but this is San Marcos up in Santa Barbara County.
Simi Valley team you're talking about is pretty good. One of the top-ranked teams in the state of California out of the Marmonte League.
The rest of our crew, of course, down at Hawthorne covering the Hawthorne basketball game tonight. If we get a chance, we'll try to get you a score from that game, fans. But they leave the 3 line open, but again, with Nordine, they can afford to do that. That's what they can't afford to do. And that makes our score 44-29 now. 15-point lead, 2:31 left in the third. Dominique Coy tries to go baseline, nothing there, gets it out to Bell. Bell looking straight on at a 3. He won't take it right now, though, gives it over to Dennis. Deshaun Freeman on the 3-point line. I don't think he'll shoot that at all. Now, Bell from straight ahead, he can't get it to drop. Again, as you said, that's not a part of their repertoire, but they're being forced into it because of the size of this deficit. Near steal by Deshaun Freeman, who pokes a hand in there. Deshaun running all over the floor, playing Nordine pretty well. And they make him pay for the gamble, 46-29. So it's back out to a 17-point lead. Dennis puts a shot up. He's out of control. And now San Marcos, Rayshawn in complete control of this ball game. 46-29, 1:35 left.
And they're so disciplined. It seems like they're never frazzled or rattled. You got the big guy Nordine out there handling at 6'6".
Wow. And they're going to draw a third foul on Deshaun Freeman. And now that lead is extended to 19 at 48-29. So I got to tell you, Rashawn, this San Marcos Royal team is obviously better than advertised.
Yeah, they definitely are better than advertised. And I think to Leuzinger's credit, I think they're giving the San Marcos team a little bit of help. But I'm impressed with this big guy, Nordine. Transferred from Sweden. It seems like with Hopkins out of the ball game, he's the secondary ball handler for them. At 6'6", their post player, and he's setting up opportunities for his teammates, also finishing on the inside.
Evans gets 2 shots at it, can't get it to go. Should stay this way, and it does. tough shooting night for Jerry Evans. Well, it's been a tough shooting night for the entire Olympian team. No need to say whether it's Jerry Evans or Deshaun or Dominique or any of them. When you've only got 29 points with a minute left in the third, 29 points for a team that on the season averages well over 60. That's been a tough go for them.
Well, Rufus, they had 6 in that second quarter. Right now, they only have 4 points. As Dominique points to the free throw line.
That shot drops by Dominique Coy. Makes it 48-30. Nordine, the big Swede, goes off, coming in to replace him. Number 25, Mike McQuaid. They can't get it to drop, so now they get back on defense. Travel call. Good defense by the Olympians. 53 seconds left. Let's see if they can string together like 6 points in 53 seconds. It can be done.
It can be done. We saw San Marcos do it with 27 seconds.
Evans' shot put up. Boy, it doesn't go. And we're going to go the other way as they're going to call Cameron Bell over the back on that play. It looks like they called Devontae Norton underneath with the holding foul. That's why Cameron was able to go over the back, because Devontae was holding the guy down. So the Royals inbound, the Olympians showing the full court pressure. They break it easily. They get it into the front court. Wow, Olympians, they get a hand on it, but they can't control the near turnover, Rashawn.
Nobody went to the ball. You had Bale down there by himself trying to get the steal. You had 3-4 guys leaking out for Leuzinger.
So here's another opportunity for the Olympians. They trail by 18 with 21.8 left in the third. One of the things they lack that we've seen here is a three-point shooter deluxe. They're a great team, and just when you think you've got it all, a couple of your weaknesses get exposed, and that's one of them that have been exposed for the Olympians here tonight.
Hopkins will have a seat again for San Marcos, and Nordine quickly came in to see if he handles the ball once again for them once they take over the offensive end.
And see, that's my thing. If you're going to take a long two, you either need to take a three or a short two, and now we've got a 3-on-1. With the way things were going, I was expecting that shot by Vines to go in.
I know, I certainly was. I certainly was expecting that one to go in. But it didn't, and as it stands right now, the Olympians trail it by 18 going into the final 8 minutes of this ballgame. And it's tough. A lot of it goes to San Marcos because they're playing an exceptionally well game, very disciplined on the offensive end. But for Leuzinger, even seeing them be a little bit more patient here offensively in the third quarter, as you said, they just can't get shots to fall. These are some good shots that this Leuzinger team was taking, and it seems like there's a cylinder on that cup.
And so now we have a little between the quarter entertainment by one of the small fans of the Royals here doing his thing. Okay, son, it's time to get off the stage. Right.
Guess he got his 5 seconds of fame, huh?
There you go, man. You got to learn when it's time to get off the stage, though. Good entertainment, good hospitality by the folks here at San Marcos High. I tell you, Coach Jared Bradley, when we talked to him, Sean and I in the pregame, was very hospitable to us, and as has everyone here since we've been here, except for the basketball team. They haven't been very friendly, Rashawn.
No, they haven't been very friendly at all. They did exactly what they're supposed to do, protecting their home court.
Leuzinger now picks up the defensive intensity. They've got to be able to play 8 straight minutes of nothing but solid defense. Shot clock down to 8. Let's see what happens here, down to 5. They got a lot of pressure. He's going to throw up one. Anything happens, boy, defense. They had to play defense for 32 minutes. And they throw it away on the offensive end. They worked so hard, Rashawn, for 35 seconds, and they give it all back inside of 10 seconds.
And that's tough because you work too hard to get that ball back. You forced San Marcos into taking one of their very few bad shots of this ball game, and you give it right back to them.
And that makes the next 35 seconds all that much more harder on you physically. One, because you literally are drained, and you're double drained because you didn't score. Okay. Now we got it. Now we run it again. Let's see what happens here. Dominique Coy slows it down, gets it into the hands of Cameron Bell. That's a good decision. Deshaun Freeman down low. He gets it to Dominique Coy. That shot put up doesn't go. Dominique with a tough shot underneath. Doesn't get anything to drop. Wow, that was a dead-eye layup.
2 feet away, and you expect Dominique Coy to make those, but for the Olympians, it's just one of those nights. Can't get anything to fall. We've seen them miss layups for the duration of this game. It started in the first quarter. We were talking about some of Deshaun Freeman's missed layups, and it's carried on.
Well, the first layup put up and in by Hopkins, and now we come the other way. Freeman shot from the outside. Now the Olympians doing a lot of stuff that is not them. Dominique's going to be fouled on the follow-up, so he'll get to go to the line. Boy, they trail right now by 20. That's the largest deficit of the game at 50-30.
It's tough to believe this was a 19-13 game at the end of the first quarter with the Olympians leading it.
Exactly. Because they've been outscored now 37-18. They just have not been able to find a combination that works for them. 2 free throws by Dominique Coy. Once again, the Olympians looking to play full court pressure defense. I think you'll see a bunch of subs for the Olympians right now. Wow. Jerry Evans, boy, he must have really tight-roped that baseline. I'm talking about the player for Senior Valley, San Marcos. I was about to mention that Jerry Evans, again, on the bench. As I mentioned before, Jerry growing into this game and growing into losing the basketball. That shot put up doesn't go down, but the Royals control. They get it back out top to their point guard. That's Trevor Hopkins. He's being guarded by Larry Dennis out top. 5 count in effect. He beats him on the baseline. A lot of contact, no call there. And not wanting to risk a foul, they allow him to follow up the shot, so it's a 20-point game with 5:20 left.
Freeman had to come over to help, and the Hopkins penetration, Nordine was wide open to get the rebound on his own.
Dominique Coy working underneath. Boy, if Dominique had missed the bus, they'd really be in trouble. Right now, Dominique, of course, our leading candidate for player of the game for the Olympians, even should it be in a losing cause. But before we start thinking about that, we got 4:52 left, 18-point deficit. Stranger things have happened, and something strange has to happen right now if the Olympians expect to get out of here with a W.
It definitely has to for Leuzinger, and as we've mentioned time and time again in this game tonight, Rufus is going to have to be down here on this defensive end.
Once again, they're getting beat off the dribble. I'm seeing San Marcos, Rashawn, do things that you would expect Leuzinger to be able to do. Wow, thought that was a double. They may have gotten away. Turnover again. They tried to feed it in to Deshaun, and nothing's working for him right now at all.
Absolutely. Guys that you think are typically jump shooters are able to take it off the dribble.
There's a push by the Olympians. They settle for another three-pointer. That's Cameron Bell with the three-pointer. And that gives Coach Reggie Morris an opportunity on the dead ball to call for a timeout. He signals for a full 17-point deficit, 3:57 left in the contest. I scored 54-37 on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22.
And that three-pointer by Bell gave Leuzinger 7 points here in this quarter. That's more than they scored in the second or third. They netted just 6 points apiece in the second and third quarters. And when you're having offensive woes and offensive performances like that, it's hard to win. I don't care who you're playing, especially if you're on the road, especially come playoff time. And when you just can't make shots, you can say as much about defense as we want, but you just can't make shots. It makes it awful tough for you. It seems like there's been a cylinder on top of the basket for the Olympians tonight, while the hole for San Marcos has been as wide as the Pacific Ocean outside.
It's been a tough shooting night for them. By my count, after scoring 19 in the first quarter, as you said, at the end of the third quarter, they had only scored an additional 11, 6 in the second, which we thought then was the worst quarter they could ever play. Well, they compounded that by only scoring 5 in the third. And here they are at 37, having scored 7 here in the fourth. And with under 4 minutes left, boy, they've left themselves with a virtually impossible task. Wow,
10-second
they draw the
violation.
10-second count. So they get the ball. Well, again, you're a couple of quick baskets from putting a little heat and pressure on them. So far all night, since the first quarter, they've had the opportunity to play going downhill. Jerry Evans attacks the basket. His shot doesn't go, and he compounds that with a foul, which is going to be his fourth, I believe, and it is.
It is his fourth personal. It's been a rough night for Evans, a rough night for this Olympian squad, period, but especially the young man, Jerry Evans. Just 5 points so far on the night, 4 personal fouls.
And Nordine splits the double team, gets it in the front court. They double the basketball now at every spot. Of course, that's going to leave somebody open. San Marcos content to run clock instead of score points, and you can do that when you're leading by 17 with 3:15 left, 10 on the shot clock. Now they get it over in the far corner. That shot put up doesn't go. That's a jump ball there, and that favors the Olympians.
But still, how many open shots did that San Marcos team pass up? And that's a little bit about the discipline that both me and you have bought into about Coach Bradley's coaching philosophy, and passed up open shot after open shot because they're content with just burning clock here.
Well, he said his guys know what to do. That shot doesn't go down, but Dominique Coy there on the board once again, and now we're going to have a foul underneath. It's going to be ball out of bounds. You know, the one thing that they were not and did not exploit, the Olympians, throughout the course of tonight's contest, Rashawn, again, what was their seeming size advantage inside with the triumvirate of Jerry Evans, Rashawn Freeman, and Dominique Coy.
It just didn't happen tonight for the Olympians. Evans
Finally on
gets
the
something to
baseline,
fall.
Evans gets one to go, but quite frankly, to this reporter, that seems to be a little too little, too late. Still trying to play good pressure defense are the Olympians. Boy, they nearly got one there. Give away numbers. And they had 3 guys underneath Rashawn, could not come away with the rebound.
And how about Nordine? I think he's played a solid game tonight for the San Marcos team.
They aren't getting any loose balls right now. And with 2 minutes left, the season will mercifully come to an end for the Olympians. Not the ending that they or we were hoping for. But boy, some nights you just get beat by a better team, Rashawn.
Yeah, and it's tough when you. Seems like Leuzinger not only battled San Marcos, but they kind of battled themselves tonight too a little bit. And it's hard enough to beat your opponent, but when you got to battle against each other, that makes it extremely tough.
Deshaun Freeman with the ball. Deshaun goes to the basket. Deshaun foul. They say it was on the floor. 15 foul for San Marcos. Deshaun with a good open court move to the basket. However, with a score of 56-19, 56-39. It's bad, but it's not quite that bad.
That bad.
All right. 56-39. The Olympians, boy, not many things have gone well for them tonight, and certainly the score hasn't gone well. Norton with it over to Evans. Evans turns inside. Evans needs to give it away. Gives it off to Bell. Bell's three-pointer goes up and in. Maybe that's the guy that they should have had shooting all along. Cameron Bell put the shot up and in. 14-point game, 56-42.
Bell finding the stroke from outside here in the fourth quarter. It's knocked down 2 from beyond the arc so far here in the fourth with 1:24 remaining. Olympia is down by 14, but it's just been a tough night. You know, a lot of miscues. You saw San Marcos kind of getting after it a little bit more than the Olympians, maybe wanting it more a little bit than the Olympians, going after those loose balls as we talked about earlier on, attacking their offensive glass. Leuzinger for a good part of that first half, especially in that second quarter, unable to get a defensive rebound, unable to control their own defensive boards, and that's supposed to be easy. You know, that's supposed to be the easiest part, the ability to contain your defensive boards. But this San Marcos team, somewhat finessed. They were in there bodying and getting a little bit more physical, and Leuzinger just not able to go after those balls. I think that's kind of hurt him in the long run. And offensively, where do you start, you know?
Well, what's been overlooked, you know, we sit here and we talk about what's happened. The one thing that's happened that's been overlooked, obviously, is the defense of this San Marcos team. They held Leuzinger over 2 periods to 11 points, 6 in the second and 5 in the third, and they started the third quarter with a 5-0 run of their own.
San Marcos content with just running some clock here. Dennis finally picks up a foul with 58 3/10 of a second left. Now that's questionable right there. If you were going to foul, why not foul when it was 1:24 left on the clock as opposed to now with 58 seconds?
Well, and that's always the proverbial question. When do you go to it? I mean, and you're right. If you make the decision that you're going to, you may as well do it early in the shot clock. Stop it and get it back.
There's about 7 seconds left on the shot clock when Bell committed that foul. As Marquez leaves the game for San Marcos.
Senior Brett Zylstra, number 2 for San Marcos. Seldom Hughes gets a chance to get in this playoff game in what may be their last or his last home appearance. So a bit of coaching there by Coach Jared Bradley gives a senior at least an opportunity to get in. Of course, you can do that when you're leading by 15 with 58 seconds to go.
Nice job by Devontae.
Norton underneath gets the basket. Score will look a lot closer than it actually is. The bottom line is, fans, this isn't a 13-point ball game, and it hasn't been a 13-point ball game in a long time.
It hasn't, no, absolutely not. At least since the half.
Exactly.
You know, San Marcos came out spirited out of the locker room at halftime, and for most of this fourth quarter, too, they've kind of just been disciplined and done their stuff, ran their stuff, and kind of eaten some clock as well in the process.
Well, they started the second half with a 5-0 run when they came out of the locker room leading by 12 at 37-25. And they've done nothing but dominate and control from there on in. Cheer squad certainly trying to do their share, shouting for Nordine to miss it. Of course, he's so far away, he doesn't hear it, so what does he do? He just goes ahead and makes it. Wow, that shot put up and in by Deshaun Freeman. 13-point ball game. Still there. and Jerry Evans can't get it to go. All this is when the dresser makes the score look more respectable. This is the kind of effort you needed in the second and the third. Play like this, maybe we got a different ball game. Of course, we don't do that. And now, so for the 2007-2008 campaign, Rashawn, Leuzinger is one and done.
One and done in the Division 1A playoffs. Jerry Evans, this is 8th point of the night for Leuzinger. Your leading scorer held to just 8 points. We're making 9 now with that make. You know, it makes it extremely tough, especially on the road.
Point game, and they are just holding the ball. The shot clock's off. They're going to run it out. Olympians now wise not to foul. 5 seconds left. And Evans near a technical foul. One of the things that they'll work with him on in the offseason, Rashawn, clearly is emotional control. Evans is a great ball player. Again, not always in complete control of his emotions. And with 1.7 left, Evans goes to the bench. Someone from the coaching staff needs to right now grab him, calm him down, because in this state of mind, I don't want to see him do anything foolish at this point. This one's over. This is done, Michelle. We're getting ready. The bus is warming up, and we're getting ready to get out of here in a couple of minutes and make the long ride back home, which always seems twice as long when you're heading back with an L hung on your neck.
And you hear Coach Morris has said a couple words to his junior. Jerry Evans fouled out of the ball game with that last foul. That gave him his 5th personal of the game. And so Hopkins is going to add to this San Marcos lead, but definitely some things to work on, along with fine-tuning the game. Always want to work on different things to your game in the offseason, but as a coach, you want players to have emotion and to play with emotion, but it's a fine line, you know? And for Jerry Evans, this is about keeping that in check. Larry Dennis knocks that down from deep.
Dennis' shot went in. No signal from the officials, so it does not count, even though it went in. And so now, that means our official final.
It counts. They're going to say it counts.
Well, they did count it now. So, makes it 61-51. Doesn't change what the ultimate outcome is, and that is that this ends up being a first-round loss for the Olympians here in the 2007-2008 season. Tough way to go out. Boy, they made the long trip home. Again, they end the season, Rashawn, on a 3-game losing streak. They lose the last 2 Bay League games that cost them the Bay League championship. Of course, they had a very commendable regular season record and league record, which earned them this playoff spot. This wasn't a gimme. This wasn't a petition. They earned it. They came up here. They thought they were ready. But boy, they ran into a buzzsaw coached by Jerry Bradley. This San Marcos Royal team put on a basketball show, and that's why they're moving on to the next round, courtesy of a 61-51 win.
Yeah, and that's tough. That's something that we didn't really talk too much about going into this game. Leuzinger losing their last 2 games heading into the playoffs. And whenever you go into the playoffs, you want to be on somewhat of a roll. You want to have some confidence going into the playoffs. And Leuzinger, you know, no one's going to admit it, but perhaps they did feel a little bit sorry for themselves coming to the playoffs. With 2 games to go, they win just one of those. We're talking about them as the Bay League champions, and we're at Leuzinger High School hosting this first-round playoff game, as opposed to traveling, you know, 100-plus miles away to Santa Barbara and San Marcos High School. And they ran into a tough team tonight at home, a very disciplined team tonight at home in the San Marcos Royals, and they were able to spread them out, get those driving lanes. They were to come off those flare screens, drive, kick, and knock down open shots. And you got to be impressed with the play of San Marcos here tonight. Yes, Leuzinger did not give their best effort, but you got to tip your hats to the Royals because they came out here and they played a well of a game.
Oh, they absolutely did. They played, you know, Rashawn, I've had the good fortune in the last 3 days to see 2 good basketball teams. If you're a fan of Anaheim Servite, when they defeated Lawndale 92-85, or if you're a fan of the San Marcos Royals, as they defeat the Olympians tonight 61-51. Both teams played excellent sound basketball, particularly this San Marcos team. Boy, I looked at them. You size up, that just goes to show you, Rashawn, you can't analyze this stuff on paper. And I'd never seen these guys. I looked on paper, looked at their records, looked at a couple of different things, and you go, wow, this should be a competitive game, but this is one that the Olympians should get out of here with, just as they did last year when they came up and played Los Pueblos. Well, we saw something and learned something different real quickly. The San Marcos Royals are a team to be reckoned with, and they handled everything that Leuzinger threw at them. And what about when they opened the second period with 4 straight three-pointers that completely turned around the entire ball game? We thought it turned around the quarter. Well, guess what? After they trailed by 6 at 19-13, at the end of one, they went into the locker room instead at the half, leading 37-25, and it just kept up from there. The final score of 61-51, as you and I would be the first to admit, is not indicative at all of how thoroughly dominant this Royal team was over the Olympians, who, after having a good first quarter, simply could not get anything else going the rest of the game.
And we'll be on the ride back home trying to contemplate what happened to this Olympian team between that first quarter and that second quarter, because having a 6-point lead at the end of the first and then coming out and scoring just 6 points total in the second quarter, not only that, to compound things, they let San Marcos score 6 points in the final 27 seconds of that second quarter to go into the locker room at halftime. That definitely changed things for the San Marcos team. And, I mean, did they shoot the ball? Did these guys have some shooters? They scored, they netted 5 3-pointers in that second quarter. Marquez hit 3 of them. Pearson had 2, and those were the top 2 leading scorers of the night for San Marcos. Marquez led them with 18 points. Pearson had 16, all coming in the first half. But the play that surprised me, the player rather that surprised me the most, was the big Swede, Nordin. He was able to handle the ball when Hopkins, their point guard, was in foul trouble. Nordin was handling at 6'6", forced Deshaun Freeman to kind of come out and guard him high. And not only was Nordin handling the ball, he was setting up the offense. He was also able to finish down low. And they did a great job of executing their offense. They did a great job of being disciplined offensively. And another point that you mentioned during the broadcast, defensively, I don't think we've given the San Marcos team enough credit for what they've done defensively. I mean, Jerry Evans averaging 13 points coming into this game, leading Leuzinger in scoring, just 9 points tonight. Cameron Bell leads the Olympians tonight with 13 points in his final career game in an Olympian uniform, and it was just one of those kind of nights. Cameron Bell was forced to take shot after shot after shot, most of them coming from beyond the arc, and when you're relying on that three-pointer, you're a team like Leuzinger, and you're going up against a team like San Marcos. We talked about it. If it was going to be a three-point shootout, definitely favor San Marcos, and it did tonight, and they ended up winning it 61-51 here tonight.
Well, they absolutely did, and in the final analysis, in the second half, the Leuzinger defense did tighten up some. They held them to 24 points, but by then the damage was done. But also, as you said, was done by San Marcos' defense. Leuzinger's pressure defense did start to yield some stuff. I think they were a bit slow to go into a man defense and guard the perimeter, and simply gave away too many open looks to a team that showed that they can hit that shot. And their coach told us in the pregame, we shoot the three-pointer. And there's a good reason why they do, because they hit a lot of them.
They hit a lot of them.
So, we made the adjustment there a little bit too slow. And otherwise, the other big thing, as we start to bring it on home tonight, was that I believe Leuzinger did not, if they had been able to establish their front line of Dominique Coy, Jerry Evans, and
Deshaun Freeman, they would have, I think, dominated this game in a different fashion. But it ended up being a jump shooting game instead of a game where they controlled the post play. So
That's what cost them. Let us also report to you fans. Well, we hit the triple play this week in playoff basketball as we've been handed a score. Hawthorne lost in its first round contest tonight, 42 to 52. So, after the first 2 days of the 2008 season, Sean, we're done. We're out of work, man. These three teams have played us completely out of work. Lawndale goes down to defeat on Wednesday night to Survey. Leuzinger here tonight at San Marcos, and Hawthorne lost in the game that they had at home. So that's the season.
It's time for us to start making our signs. We're looking for work.
There you go. Well, you got that right, man. Because this is a nice gig, and I liked it. And I'd hope that it would last at least a couple more weeks. But you know what? Fans will say this as we start to head out. First of all, I think in terms of basketball in the Hawthorne-Lawndale area, this is just great that you've got three programs in a community that are all enjoying various levels of success. Second year in a row, you've had three teams make the playoffs. You know, there are a lot of kids that want to play basketball, and when you got three schools that's doing it, that means that's 45 kids in the larger community that have an opportunity to be a part of something special, and that's good for them. You know, all three coaches are very good coaches. Coach Alex Acosta over at Lawndale, Coach Young at Hawthorne, and of course Reggie Morris here at Leuzinger. They'll all take a few weeks off, regroup, get ready for summer basketball. Fall will be here, and we start it all over again. Deshaun, why don't you give us a couple of parting thoughts, and then I'll wrap it up, and we're going to get in the car and go home, man, because we got 120 miles to go.
Time for us to hit the highway, but first we, I guess, salute the seniors that just played their last game here tonight for Leuzinger High School. Edric Stamps, Cameron Bell, Deshaun Freeman, and Dominique Coy. They've all donned the Leuzinger Olympian basketball uniform for the last time in their careers tonight. Unfortunately for them, they go out in a loss in the first round, 61-51 here at San Marcos High School in Santa Barbara, but you got to look at the upside. The future is definitely bright at Leuzinger High School, and you got guys like Jerry Evans and DeLon Wright coming back next year, Devontae Norton. So, you know, all is not lost. You know, you're going to lose just 4 seniors from this team, and hopefully this Leuzinger team can regroup, like you said, spring ball, summer ball, you know, retune, refine some things, and come back and be ready to play for the 2008-2009 season. Wow, I can't believe it.
They've got to find a three-point shooter like they've had the last couple of seasons in Russell Westbrook and Donnell Beverly, guys who can knock it down consistently. That'll be one of the missing ingredients that I'm sure Coach Morris will be looking to fill. The other thing they're going to need to do is find another big man, particularly a big man with some muscle, since Evans is a lighter big man. I mean, he's a high flyer. Okay?
He's more of a wing guy.
Exactly, and goes both ends. They need a guy with some bulk, patrolling the middle. You know, we talked about the seniors. One last word I'll say about them, Rashawn. Of course, as you mentioned, Edric Stamps and Bell. This was their, you know, first year of really being major parts of the program, and they contributed greatly as first-year senior players. But the guys who've been there the last couple of years, Dominique Coy, who came into his own last year and was an integral part this year, and the big fella. It was his team. They rode his back the whole season. He had a tough night tonight. Big Deshaun Freeman. Deshaun, a 4-year player in the program, 3 years of major varsity action, particularly the last 2 years. You hate to see it end for a guy like that who's been such a great guy. His mom's been a big supporter of the program. And so we wish all those guys well, but especially the leader of the 2 leaders of the bunch, I'll say, Dominique Coy and Deshaun Freeman, as they move on to other things. Having said that, I think we got a player of the game. Let's announce that, and then we really can say hasta la vista.
Yeah, Cameron Bell, last performance as a Leuzinger High School Olympian, 13 points tonight for Leuzinger. Hit a couple from beyond the arc, 3 for 4 from the free throw line tonight to kind of lead this Leuzinger team tonight. Unfortunately, came up with a 61-51 loss as they dropped their record to 16-11 to conclude this 2006-2007 season.
So Cameron Bell's our player of the game. I tell you, Dominique, you got a lot of votes there because with his putbacks there in the fourth quarter and his offensive rebounding, that kept the Olympians within striking distance for a while. But Cameron Bell is a player of the game. So fans, I'm Rufus Washington for Rayshawn Haylock and Eric Chavez. We're up here in Santa Barbara at San Marcos High. Our final, once again, a season-ending final, unfortunately, has the San Marcos Kings Royals. Well, they certainly played like kings tonight.
Definitely
I mean,
did.
they were basketball royalty, if only for one night in these playoffs. They'll take the win as they hold serve at home by a final of 61-51 over our own Leuzinger Olympians. So for everybody on the entire crew, I'm Rufus Washington saying it's been a great basketball season. Stick around. Lou Stowers will have baseball for you in a couple of weeks. And, of course, we'll be back for the fall campaign right here in football on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. My last word, by the way, if you didn't know, Junior Washington's heading down to the ACC at Wake Forest University. So that's where he'll be. I'll be back here, though. Fans, it's been fun. We'll see you the next time. Good night.